What's up, Guardians, and welcome to another Destiny gameplay video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing some of my tips and strategies for sniping and counter-sniping when playing in the Trials of Osiris. So I've been playing a lot of Trials over the past couple of weekends, and I think so far I've collected over 100 games worth of footage, which is kind of a ton. So instead of doing just like a generic strategy guide to the Trials, instead I'm going to be very, very specific and do videos on very specific things and strategies. So I just recently uploaded a video on going 1-on-3, managing situations where you're last man standing in the Trials, and so this one will focus specifically on sniping and counter sniping. So one of the very first things that I want to talk about is getting your sights set early and often. So a lot of times in these clips, what you're going to see is that I get to a certain choke point, like this back hallway was super popular with the Pantheon Trials. And a lot of times I had my sights set first. I got there first, set my sights. In this particular clip, you see, I got there last, and so I actually got hit. I was lucky that that guy didn't get the headshot first. So I really had to adjust quickly and was lucky enough to get that double kill. So if you don't get there first, you could be in trouble. But you can see here in this instance, I got here first. So I have my sights set. I'm waiting for the guy to peek. And then you always want to prioritize the revive. So right here, I'm watching the revive. And I go ahead and I get the kill off the revive. And so in Trials, I highly recommend, I've used a bunch of different snipers in Trials, but the very first thing that I would tell you when picking a sniper rifle is that you want to have one that can one-shot a guy off the revive. In a playlist where revives can really completely change the dynamic of any round, and could potentially change the outcome of an entire match, you really got to be spot on with making sure that these guys are not reviving. And so when they do, you can just do like this right here and take them out right off the revive if you have a sniper rifle that's powerful enough to one hit off of a revive. That particular clip was us going against a couple of final rounders. I mean, they literally would shoot their sniper rifle off into a wall. I remember one instance where I was waiting to be revived. I went down pretty close to these guys, and I could see the guy on my body, and he just takes his sniper rifle and he fires some rounds off into the wall next to me and then looks down this hallway. So these guys, you'll run into guys like this. Frankly, if you got to do that to win matches, in my opinion, it's pretty pathetic. It's not a legitimate strategy. People might say, hey, it's a legitimate strategy. It's not a legitimate strategy. It's not being sportsmanlike. It's exploiting the fact that you can one hit. But that's neither here nor there. You're going to have to counter snipe guys who can one hit kill you with a body shot sometimes. So you got to make sure that your target acquisition is pretty solid, and that you can acquire your targets right at head level. So part of that is making sure that you're first to a choke point like this, so that compensating for where the target is pretty easy since you're already sighted in at head level. So that instance, I just did a sweeping headshot for the first one because I was able to adjust. And then here again, I knew this guy was coming around the corner for the revives, so I went ahead and I sighted in first so that I could get those quick and easy snipes. And you'll find that'll save your life a ton. Now, in terms of counter sniping, one of the things that I would highly recommend is that if you're going against another sniper and you take damage, if you get hit, a lot of times I will just kind of weigh the pros and cons, and I'll say, you know what, I'm just going to bug out. So sometimes if they have their sights set and they're waiting on you to peek around that corner, they greatly have the advantage there because you've got to sort of sight in and adjust for where they are, but they've already got their sights set. So instead of challenging them, if I took damage, a lot of times I would go ahead and back off and just take another approach. And then here you see I got a body shot, so I just used a grenade to follow it up and then switched to the next target and made for some easy shooting. One of the things that snipers are great for is shutting down roaming supers, so challenging blade dancers like that from a high spot on the map gave me the advantage over a guy using a super. So one of the things that you can do is prioritize people with supers if you have a sniper rifle. Now here you'll see I'm using the Eye of Soul. I ended up stopping using this weapon because as fun as it is to use and as good as it is at getting these quick hard scope kills, the biggest downfall of this weapon is that it just doesn't do enough damage. And so shooting guys that have shields like that, I got a headshot and a body shot, and it didn't kill the guy. So I would highly recommend, like I said earlier in the video, make sure you're choosing a sniper rifle that can do enough damage, because this one, If they have an overshield, you really just, you don't stand a chance. You know, you got to get 2, maybe even 3 shots in on a guy. So I ended up sticking with my longbow or the Shadow of Veil sniper rifles. So as far as sniping goes in the trials, I think that you're gonna see a lot more snipers than you're gonna see shotgunners on maps like this. So you're not gonna be able to avoid it. You're gonna need to learn how to snipe and counter snipe. And so with these strategies, you can use anything. I had success even using No Land Beyond in this playlist. So hopefully this has been a little bit helpful for you. Make sure you're getting to places first. Set those sights first. If you don't, then go ahead and just pick a different approach to these guys. Don't challenge down these tight corridors if they beat you to it. I'm really looking forward to doing more of these tips and strategy guides for the trials, so stay tuned for those. If I don't upload much in the next week and a half, I apologize. My computer's getting serviced, so I'm going to have to find out a new way of uploading. Otherwise, we'll be back to the normal schedule in a little over a week. Thanks, guys.